Welcome back, Warriors, for Volume 6 of WHS TV. I'm your host, Kara Girton.
And I'm Connor Hoy.
In today's volume, we show you an inside look at the MSBOA Festival for band students here at Woodhaven High School.
Next, we'll show you how Jolie nailed down her skills and turned her hobby into a job.
And in the final segment, we see that students aren't the only ones that need to adjust here at the high school. The WHS band members have put hours of effort into their performances and finally get a way to show off their hard work and dedication at the MSBOA assessment.
WHS TV members Matt, Connor, and Keyshawn have an inside look at how the schools performed.
Set, aim.
Over the last few years, WHS has been hosting MSBOA, or Festival, in which multiple schools attend. But what is Festival?
So MSBOA is the Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association. It's kind of like a conglomerate of all schools and their band and orchestra programs throughout Michigan. Festival is kind of our big adjudication for the year, or big assessment for the year. So the bands have to prepare 3 pieces. One has to be a march, like a traditional march. One is chosen from a list depending on what level the band is. And then one is up to the director. So they'll play 3 pieces. They get rated, they get judged, they get assessed by some usually retired band directors or music educators. They go into a room after that and do something called sight reading. So the kids are given a brand new piece of music, they've never seen it before. We get 5 minutes to study it, talk about it without playing it, and then they play the entire piece for another grade. And then they average all those numbers together, and they end up with either a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 1 being the highest. So at our site at Woodhaven, we get a lot of the Downriver and Monroe County schools, Melvindale, Trenton, Southgate sometimes, Riverview, Monroe, Ida, Taylor, Gibraltar, schools like that.
Both the symphonic band and concert winds have been practicing the whole year.
And it's just been a lot of basically just doing what's on the page. Just the Woodhaven High School bands, the 2 bands at the high school. We have a group called Symphonic Band. They're playing a piece called Lexington, which is their march by Carl King. They're playing a piece called Meditation on Amen by Roger Zare. And then a piece called Dance the Joy Alive by Nicole Piuno. Against the Rain by Roshan Edizade. And then a piece called Shattering Infinity by Ben Taylor. So it's a real good mix of music.
And most of the students enjoy Festival.
I think Festival is a great opportunity for all the band students to come and get views on by a professional judge and things that they would need to work on for future pieces or just in their musical career.
All 4 groups, 8th grade, 9th grade, symphonic band, and concert winds receive straight 1s in Festival, with 3 of those groups receiving an additional 1 in sight reading. The Warrior bands hope to duplicate their success at next year's Festival. Great job, Musical Warriors. Dates may vary. See Mr. Fairnars in room E105 for more information. For Matt King and Keyshawn Kirkland, I'm Connor Hayton, reporting for WHS TV.
It's nice to see a great example of how hard work pays off.
I agree. You know who else puts in lots of hard work?
Who?
Jolie from Venus Nail Salon.
You're right. Jolie's preparing to have her biggest rush of the year, doing the job she loves most due to prom and spring break right around the corner.
My name is Jolie, and I work at Venus Nails and Spa in Woodhaven.
Becoming a nail technician requires time, patience, and lots of dedication.
I started doing nails around 16 years old, and then I went into cosmetology school after, and I started cosmetology school at 17 years old. My favorite thing to do for nails is probably acrylics. I like when people kind of bring me photos, and then they're like, you can just base it off of this, and do your own thing, and then you can spin off it.
No 2 days are the same for a nail tech.
Every day is different. It's a type of work where it's hit or miss. You walk in, some days I'll have 20 people, some days I'll have 3, but this is a pretty good location where it's always busy. There's always that walk-in, so I don't always have to have a full book of appointments.
Although there are several different options available to customers, Jolie's personal favorite is shellac.
Regular polish, I'll tell everybody. It stresses me out. We love shellac now. You get to dry, you don't have to wait for anything, a couple minutes in the light and you're good.
There are several different kinds of nails and techniques that are available to customers.
Most modern is, the coffin and stiletto. They're super fun. You get to get longer with them, so I love longer nails. They're super fun to do too.
Growth and improvement comes most effectively through experience.
I wouldn't know half the things I know now without being in a salon and actually doing them.
If you need your nails done, go visit Jolie at Venus Nails and Spa for a fantastic time.
I'm accepting new appointments at any time. Definitely just call Venus Nails and Spa and book an appointment with me or anybody else if you can't get in with me.
For Nina, I'm Nora reporting for WHS TV.
I'm sure it was tough transitioning from what started as a hobby to now making it a job for herself.
Yeah, but everyone goes through changes at times, like when we came to the high school from Patrick Henry.
Exactly, and students aren't the only ones that have to go through this.
Miss Marlowe explains how her experience went from teaching at Patrick Henry to now moving up to the high school.
As of the 2019-2020 school year, Miss Marlowe, the 9-year teaching veteran, was transferred to the high school to teach biology. However, the switch's reason was not a typical one.
I kind of wanted to do it for the last couple of years. I taught the same thing at Patrick Henry, so it was a semester course in baby chemistry is what I called it, and I taught it for 5 hours a day first semester, and then I did the exact same thing with a different set of kids second semester. So over the course of 5 years I taught it 50 times, so I was kind of bored.
Switching from a semester-long chemistry class to a year-long biology class was quite tough, as the classes are very different from one another.
Biology is a lot more vocabulary based. I think it's easier to relate to than chemistry in the sense of these are things going on inside of your body that we're talking about a lot of times. And biologists really like to have multiple ways to explain the same thing and use different terms. So I feel like I spend a lot more time emphasizing and explaining vocabulary than I did in chemistry. Did a lot more practicing, especially how to read like the periodic table, what kind of information you can get, that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's a lot more reading and vocabulary based.
Not only that, but the elements of Miss Marlowe's day makes her time in school go by much faster.
I do notice that my day goes faster because I'm flipping between 2 different subjects, or at least 2 different classes. So going from biology to forensic science and then back to biology, I find it makes the whole day itself go a lot faster.
Students are a very important role in a teacher's life, and witnessing their change mentality as they age is something Miss Marlowe enjoys observing.
I do like the fact that I have, a more variety of kids, and being that I have a lot of the same kids this year that I had last year as 9th graders, I could see the difference between 9th and 10th grade, like how much they matured over the summer, and then some of them I could see it really click this year as far as realizing halfway through the semester, like I need to get it together and I need to do better than what I've been doing. And I've really seen some kids really blossom this year that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do if I was still at Patrick Henry. I'm just really happy to be here and looking forward to getting more and more acclimated and more involved.
It's amazing that even with the new environment, class, and subject, Miss Marlowe is still enthusiastic and inspired to continue her job teaching at Woodhaven High School. For Autumn Sims, this has been Xavier Hattie reporting for WHS TV.
Thanks for sharing your experience, Miss Marlowe. We are happy to have you a part of WHS.
And thank you for tuning in to Volume 6 of WHS TV. I'm Connor.
And I'm Kara, and we'll see you next week, Warriors.